Yeah. And Tim, when he flows away, his sister Miriam keeps an eye on him to make sure he was safe.
Speak a little louder.
From any crocodiles in the river. And then he landed near the Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, and she seems sweeter than her cruel father. And she loves baby Moses so much, so she promised Jochebed and Miriam and Aaron to take good care of baby Moses.
Well, that was very nice.
Yes, it is. And sooner and later, as Moses grows up, he saw something that made him very upset. The slave master whips an innocent man's back, which angers Moses by killing him, and by saving the man's life from being whipped. And then Moses was feared that he run away from Egypt and never come back.
But where did he go?
He ends up to the land of Midian.
What did he do there?
He enjoys his life in Midian by becoming a shepherd, taking care of the sheep.
Right.
And when Moses followed the long young lamb on top of the mountain, he saw a mysterious bush with flames all over it, but it didn't burn. And that burning bush is revealed it was God himself that Moses hadn't met before.
Well, that's pretty cool. How would you feel if you met a burning bush and it was talking to you?
I was surprised of this.
You would be surprised.
And God spoke to Moses that, and the Lord is very upset that his poor children were miserable as slaves. And so, the way to deal with the Pharaoh to end this slavery and tyranny is Moses.
And so what did he tell Moses to do?
He instructed Moses by throwing the staff to the ground, and then it turns into a snake itself.
Wow.
It's not magic that you thought it was. It was God's power.
That's right.
And you pick up the snake's tail and it turns back to a staff. And so God encourages Moses to return to Egypt and asks the Pharaoh to let his people go. And Moses agreed he won't let God down.
That's right.
And so, alongside with his brother Aaron, and they confront the Pharaoh by asking him.
And what did Pharaoh say?
Hold on.
You want Stan to play Pharaoh?
No.
Okay.
Listen. Moses and Aaron confront the Pharaoh and ask him to let their people go, but the Pharaoh, who obeys his father, forbids them from freeing the slaves. And you know what happens when Pharaoh forbids Moses and Aaron from freeing the slaves? It leaves God no choice but to send 10 plagues.
10 plagues.
Which causes disaster to happen. And so, the first plague that what the Pharaoh had done, and turns the whole entire water in the Nile River into blood. And all the fish living in the Nile had all died with blood.
That's right.
Yes.
That's kind of
The second one?
Yes.
And then what was the second one?
The second one is a frog. They seem to be harmless creatures, but they keep annoying everyone.
They were hopping everywhere.
And ribbing.
So you and me hop on Stan again?
Ribbon. and another terrible thing is there's lots of lice to bite like all the Egyptians. And it really hurts. See this lion puppet? It's different, but it gives us an example about flies flying around.
Right, they were swarming.
they're bug buzzing.
That's right. Not fun.
Not fun at all.
And then wait.
Huh?
So what's Moses doing during all this? Does he go back and talk to Pharaoh?
He tried and tried, but the Pharaoh forbids him and not
Why?
listening to Moses' warning.
Why wouldn't he listen?
Because he hates the people of Israel and hates our God.
Well, that's not.
He believes God is fake.
That's cool.
That no good Pharaoh will doom his own people for not freeing the Israelites.
That's right. But after these plagues, then God separated the Israelites, and now the Egyptians are going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the next one?
The next one is cattle disease. All the cattle of Egypt died and never live again.
Wow.
Yeah,
These are sad.
yeah. The next one is boils. The most uncomfortable skin conditions that Egyptians deserved.
That's kind of yucky.
Yeah,
Wait, did he go back and talk to Pharaoh again, or is all
He-
this stuff just
he
happening?
did.
He's
All
still
the
talking to him.
but the
And Pharaoh
Pharaoh,
said, "Okay, you can go."
but he
No.
said no.
No. Okay.
And now there's raining ice storm called hail, and it brought a little destruction on Egypt. So it might bump your head and slip.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then there's a swarm of locusts flying around, which frightens everyone.
Careful.
And then soon the sun in the sky turns into solar eclipse and turn the land of
Wow.
Egypt into darkness, except the land of Hebrew.
And did they get up and have a party in the dark, or did they just sit there?
They can't see anything because they're fear.
So the Israelites are in the kitchen?
Yes.
Yes.
The Israelites are in the kitchen.
Yeah, they're having a party.
Okay. Alright, done being proper.
And now there's the saddest thing of all. From the last plague, when the Pharaoh keeps.
Wait, you can't do that one. We gotta do this part first.
Oh, right.
Sure.
I'll
Way to
try
go.
that later.
Sorry. We need to say, okay. So what did God tell them to do after the ninth plague? After he flipped the lights back on, what did he tell them to do?
Well, he told Moses is to tell everyone to sacrifice the lamb and paint their blood around the door, or in order to protect their children from the last plague.
Do we need to do that?
Well, lamb is our Jesus, and
That's right.
lamb's blood to save the children's life
That's right.
by protecting them.
You're gonna bless the
That's
matzah?
right. And so they made, tell them what matzah is.
Matzah is like bread, only flatter.
Okay. So you want to tell them how they would have blessed it? Tell them how they would have said the blessing.
Say the blessing.
Okay,
How would they bless the bread?
this is how you bless the bread. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamosi lechem haaretz. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings the breads of the earth.
Very good.
And so, all you do is to tear in like this. And you will share,
Yes.
and that way you will remember Jesus' body.
Awesome.
This tastes better when it's warm, just by the way. It's gonna kind of make it a little rubbery. It got cold.
Just try to enjoy it.
We were talking about this, and just about every nation on earth has something similar to that. There's naan bread in Asia. There's tortillas in Mexico. All of these are
I need to
unleavened
bless it
bread,
first.
you know, and it's somehow it's passed around. As far as I know, this was the beginning of unleavened bread, from everything I can find out.
Started Taco Bell?
Yes, yo quiero taco.
I said you started Taco Bell?
Yeah, they started Taco Bell.
That's right. And then we're gonna. I'm
He's
gonna
gonna
do
pray
that.
for it first.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The other thing,
Good job, Stan.
You're welcome.
this is what really happened that night. And the Pharisees, like they always did, kept adding to it. And when Shelley was talking earlier about having eggs and all this other stuff to go with it, that was added on later.
Yeah.
Everyone ready?
And the instructions were to, we actually kind of have fun with this at our house. But the instructions were to eat greens and matzah, and they ate the lamb, but we don't do that. And then we have grape juice with it. But you're supposed to eat it really fast. So we just bless everything, and then we literally, we did not do this because we had company the other night, but we eat it like just pigs. Like we eat it so fast. And you're supposed to eat it fast with your shoes on your feet and your staff in your hand. So my friends back home, we've all kind of evolved this into a really fun thing. So every year when she does this with her family, they get new tennis shoes and stuff because they're like, we gotta run our race. So, all right. So then they would have blessed the grape juice, and how would they do that?
Grape juice helps us remember Jesus' blood. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pri hagam. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings the fruits of a vine.
All
That's
right.
right. So, juice. I'm gonna put this over here.
Wait till I tell you
Wait till
something
everybody
important.
gets one, because he's got another little bit.
Got another one. Just don't drink the grape juice when I tell you to.
That's for Daddy. Do you need another one? Yeah. Okay.
No, they need this right here, honey.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Everybody do one? And Daddy.
I got Coke. I'm a modern Jew. I'm a modern Jew.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Now you all say L'chaim, which means to lie.
Two life.
Which is very interesting considering that all the little firstborn Egyptians were being slaughtered at that time. And that's what it was. The interesting thing about it is if the Jewish people didn't do what they were supposed to do, they lost their firstborn too.
Yep.
So what was the last plague?
So then, were they supposed to, after they had their dinner, were they supposed to go out and party in the streets?
No.
Or were they supposed to stay in the
They
house?
need to stay inside where it's safe with
Talk
lamb's
to them.
blood.
Talk to them, Stuart.
Okay, tell them where.
Liam.
Tell them what they were supposed to do.
All they're supposed to do is to sacrifice the lamb and paint their blood around their door in order to
Right.
protect their children from the last plague.
That's right. And then they came inside and they stayed inside, right?
Right.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then the last plague is the saddest of all, the death of the firstborn. And the good thing is, the lamb's blood, around the door to spare firstborn of the Israelites, but firstborn of the Egyptians with no lamb's blood, their soul was taken away to heaven and became lifeless. And so they all died, especially the Pharaoh's sons. And the Pharaoh has suffered about his son's death, and he surrendered of all this and freed the Israelites. And now the next day, all the people of Israel are happy for their freedom, because when they followed Moses and Aaron, they're going to the promised land.
Right.
That's right.
But later, the Pharaoh gets his revenge on Moses and Aaron
How?
with his whole army to extinct all people of Israel. But when they reached the Red Sea and they were pursued by Pharaoh's army, God unstopped them with a wall of fire so they won't go near the Israelites.
What's that?
And so Moses is near the edge of the Red Sea, and then he has the power of his staff to split the Red Sea in half, so everyone can get across instead of riding on boats. It looks a little fancy, but God is there for us.
That's right.
Awesome.
And soon, when Moses and his people went to the other side of the Red Sea to say anything, all the army of the Pharaoh who continues chasing them, God's them a lot. I find returning the water to the Red Sea.
And then what happened?
All the people of Israel were safe.
They were
Awesome.
all safe, and they all sang. And there's a really great verse in there that's talking about what happened with Miriam, because she was able to see that Moses needed to be saved early on, that there was something special about him. And so she had told all of the women to pack their tambourines when they left. And I was telling Stan and Teresa and Mike the other night, I have evacuated from several hurricanes. And I have never packed a tambourine when I've left. But they knew that they were going to be praising the Lord. They believed that they were going to be delivered. And they believed that they were going to be able to sing a song of praise. And so when the waters came in, Moses sang a big long song. And Miriam and all the women broke out their tambourines and played them a song. So,
All right.
that's it.